Hi, I'm Duncan McRae, Chief Editor at TechForge, and today we're joined by Claudia Contreras, Executive Director of Global Sustainability Services at Lenovo. Thanks for joining
Thank
us.
you for having me.
Can you start by telling us a little bit about your role and what you do at the company?
Sure. I run what's called Global Sustainability Services. This is a part of our services portfolio that aims to have sustainability as the outcome. So these are products within our overall structure that would help customers get to their sustainability goals.
So in the tech industry, I would say about 20, maybe 15 years ago, sustainability became a trendy thing for a year or so, and then everyone sort of forgot about it. Now it's become a big deal again. But how important is it for companies to focus on sustainability?
You're right. I think there's been somewhat of an awakening to sustainability in recent years. And it's not just showing up in regulation, because that is driving a lot of it, but it's showing up in even employees wanting to see companies that they work for work on sustainable outcomes. And it's also driving a lot of behaviors. I think that's the critical piece, that it's driving the way that people are purchasing and the way that they support the companies that they support. So that drives industry.
What are the big challenges then for companies that are wanting to become more sustainable?
I mean, more than challenges, I think it's more of what changes or behaviors that are now becoming much more relevant. In order to get to a sustainable outcome, you need to figure out where you start. And from that beginning, then you can make progress. Understanding even where you start is somewhat of that challenge. I think there's a lot of work that can be done in sustainability in general. And I think that's where it might sometimes get lost. So the recommendation is for companies that are wanting to go down a path of becoming more sustainable or having more sustainable outcomes is that they baseline where they are, understand where they are, and set targets for themselves where they can draw a path forward.
Something a lot of companies talk about now is digital transformation. It seems every company is going through it. How is it digital transformation becoming more aligned to sustainability?
Digital transformation enables you to have to be able to measure in a way that you might not be able to measure otherwise. That's one thing. And again, by measuring, you can truly track progress, making smarter choices, enabling you sorts of data and the ability to have it at your fingertips so you can make the right choices and be more efficient is a core piece of that digital transformation.
Are there any digital tools that you could sort of recommend to people who are, wanting to aid their data-driven sustainability decision making?
It's not a single tool. It's more of a series of tools and a series of products potentially that can be used, even software.
Yeah.
Energy efficiency, energy management is one that comes to mind, that just being aware of how the products that you're using, what is the energy consumption from those products, being able to measure and track the usage of your products and the behaviors that the users of your products have is another big one. There's a lot of regulation also that's affecting corporations, and we're getting into regulations more like carbon accounting and things of the like. And that will certainly drive the need for software or tools that will help manage that.
Yeah. Technology is fantastic. Lenovo's probably got some tech that can help with this, but a lot of it comes down to people. How can companies focus more on that culture of driving sustainability?
I think the benefit here with sustainability, there's not a lack of interest. Most people, most employees have a feeling or a tendency to want to do something that's in the good of the planet, that's even beyond business. It is on business and it is on all of us to enable that to happen. So finding ways of giving either customers or employees choices to where you can see the impact of your choices, you are more likely to select things that would take you down a path that would be positive for the planet, positive for your business. But making those choices available is critically important, and having those choices be that it's clearly outlined what the impact of those choices are certainly drives behaviors.
So for any companies that are just beginning this journey, or maybe there's companies out there who've already been working on sustainability, they want to improve what they're doing, what kind of advice would you give them?
For one, don't limit yourself with what you can or can't do. No one can figure it out on their own. This is not one of those things that you will figure out and you will do it in a vacuum. Getting to a place where we all want that outcome that we're looking for, that sustainability ingrained into our operation, is going to take cooperation. My biggest piece of advice is don't think you have to do it all. There are experts out there. There are ways that you can leverage that expertise well beyond just your capabilities. The type of activities that, from a Lenovo standpoint, I see very clearly is our TrueScale. TrueScale is our way of bringing the use of products into a usage model. So you don't necessarily have to own the products, which means you don't have to manage them. You don't have to figure out if I have extra, what's going to happen to it. You don't have to figure out the maintenance of a product. Therefore, you can focus on the things that are relevant to you. So you leave things in the hands of experts. You don't worry about over provisioning because there's measurements for that. These are the type of activities and the type of ideas and ways that others can leverage expertise around them in order to get to the outcomes that they're looking for.
Well, it's very good advice. So Claudia, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you.